Samsung have just launched the Tab S11 series. Yes, we are at Tab S11 already. It's gone really fast. Let's see what's new. Welcome back to SamMobile TV. You're here with Daniel. Before I start today, I actually just want to give a huge shout out to Max Jambor, who's overseas in Europe at the moment, who's captured all of our hands-on content for both the S25 FE video and for this one. Huge help. And he also does a lot of shorts and TikToks for us. So go check out our TikTok page to check him out as well. Tech season is in full swing. We've already got the S25 FE, and now we've got the Tab S11. Launching in 2 models again this year, Samsung seem to have ditched the 3-model lineup, but they've changed the base model that they're launching this with. So gone is the Plus, and then you get the Tab S11, and then go straight into the Tab S11 Ultra. Starting with the Tab S11, which is, I would say, the least exciting of the bunch, at least for me. I'm an Ultra fan myself. It's got an 11-inch display, which is nice. Some would say that's a nice tablet size, especially if you're just consuming media. Works really well. Samsung have reduced the thickness and the weight, and that's great. But I'm already more interested in the Ultra because Samsung have done a lot here. There's actually some big changes. It still retains that 14.6-inch display size, but it's going to feel smaller because of the fact that Samsung have sort of reduced the bezels, but also made it lighter and thinner. That trend is continuing. You can see in the bezels the reduced camera housing, and the notch has been almost like just like a blip in the screen now instead of an actual sort of gutter that got sort of cut out like it did in the previous version. But it's the size, and more importantly, how it feels, because it's been reduced to 5.1 millimeters in thickness, which I guess matches the iPad Pro, but it weighs just 692 grams, under 700 grams for a device that's 14.6 inches is wild. And they increased the battery capacity to 11,600 and maintain that 14.6 inch screen. And that display has been improved drastically as well. Samsung have taken it to, I think it was under 1,000 nits with the Tab S10 Ultra to 1,600 nits of peak brightness, which should definitely increase your productivity and entertainment usage, especially when outdoors, because let's face it, a lot of people with mobile productivity want to take their devices out and about. And the productivity feature set has also been expanded. Samsung, for the first time on tablets, well, not really, they brought in new decks with One UI 6 and no one knew what they were doing with it until now, because now they've blended sort of classic decks and new decks into a new sort of system. It's basically now that on the device itself, you get sort of 4 different desktop options that you can customize each one to sort of suit how you want to work, and different apps can be open in each one. And you've also got a better sort of seamless transition between decks on the tablet and decks on a monitor, which we kind of have already had an early preview of because we have One UI 8 running on my Tab S9 Ultra. So we've already done a video on that, so you can go and check that out. And it's nice. You get the option to sort of create that desktop environment. And then on the monitor, you can sort of flow the mouse between and drag and drop apps between each other. It's going to be really good. But as Samsung giveth, they taketh away. It's very much 2025 release, this product. You'll notice on the device itself, Samsung have removed that sort of magnetized glass area where the S Pen used to sit on the back of the device. Well, that's because gone is the charging mechanism which enabled the Bluetooth functionality, because they've removed it. Same way they did the S25 Ultra, no longer has a battery or Bluetooth, so you cannot use the air gestures that Samsung have sort of enabled in the past. That in a jam can actually save you, especially for presentations. I'm anticipating low usage rates again with a culprit for Samsung cutting this, but it's disappointing all the same that something as useful as that, something that was, maybe a little bit gimmicky, but 1% of times it came in handy, was amazing. Whilst Samsung have removed Bluetooth from the pen, they have redesigned it to be a little bit more ergonomic, especially if you use it, well, as a pen. It's got this hexagon shape now, and it's got a new tip on the end of it, all designed to make it comfier to use and more precise to use on the display for longer periods especially. So we'll get more hands-on and more usage out of it, but that's what's changed with it. The Tab S11 series, or tablets in general, have always kind of been aimed as a laptop replacement, and Samsung have kind of leaned into that in the last few years with the launch of keyboard covers. But traditionally, the keyboard covers have always connected via the bottom with the pogo connectors. Now it looks like Samsung have moved the connectors to the back of the tablet, which means that potentially, well, not potentially, you won't be able to use the old keyboard covers. You'll need to get new ones for the Tab S11 series. The keyboard cover itself looks the same as the slim one from last year, but it's just going to connect differently via those pogo pins that are now at the back of the tablet as opposed to on the bottom. That's something, again, if I get my hands on it, I will definitely put that to the test and hopefully get access to the keyboard cover as well. Cameras on a tablet have not really been something that too many people need to care about. But what I found interesting is that you've got a single camera on the Tab S11 on the back, and then you've got the dual camera setup on the rear of the Tab S11 Ultra. And that's fine. Dual camera setup does give you more flexibility, especially with the bigger tablet. But what I found curious is that the notch that's been reduced in size only has the single camera in there. So that's very curious that Samsung have gone and removed the 2-camera setup and just gone with the single. Again, I think it's an aesthetic choice, and they probably found more people used one camera more than the other, but it definitely visually looks better having just one camera there. But I would have liked at least to find a way to fit both whilst also reducing that. That could be asking for too much. Samsung have continued the trend with performance of the tablet series being powered by the Dimensity chipsets instead of the more expensive Qualcomm ones. I feel like at this stage that it's kind of doing a disservice to Samsung's tablet range, with Apple powering ahead with the M series chips and the performance that they've given it, albeit underpowered by the software, although iOS 26 looks to have at least closed that gap a little bit. I really think Samsung are missing a trick here in not making the tablets more laptop performance-like. I've been using, where is it? It's here. The Snapdragon-powered Galaxy Book 4 Edge. I have the 16-inch model and the 14-inch. And honestly, the battery life, performance, and just the all-round general usage of it is amazing. I really think Samsung could learn a thing or two from their own laptop lineup and put it into their tablets. Anyway, I'm not here to rant about that. We're here to talk about the Dimensity chips. So it's a 3nm Dimensity 9400 Plus, which is an upgrade on last year, and it's got improvement gains to go with that. All 3 facets, CPU, GPU, and NPU, have all improved from last year. Marginal gains, enough probably to power some of the extra Galaxy AI features and things maybe like Now Brief if it's got it, although I'm not too sure, so I'll have to check when I get my hands on myself, but they're there. But the performance is not the thing to sort of harp on here, because the big change is down to the hardware. And the hardware, especially on the Ultra, has gotten a massive sort of shift in sort of in-hand feel. And that's the big ticket. Thinner, lighter, smaller bezels. Seems to be Samsung's mantra for this year. Thinner, lighter, smaller bezels. Thinner, lighter, smaller bezels. Type that in the comments if you think that that's what Samsung's mantra is this year. So that's the changes. Let us know what you think about the changes to the Tab S11 series in the comments below. You can also go check out our hands-on for our S25 Fan Edition, because that is launched alongside this. It's very odd launching a Fan Edition phone and then a flagship Ultra tablet. I always maintain that the Ultra tablet should launch alongside the S series, because I think a phone and a tablet's a great sort of combination. And then the Fold gets its own launch at the end of the year without a tablet release because, well, it doesn't need one. But that's just me. I don't work for Samsung. I just make videos about them. Anyway, go check out our website if you're seeking more information about pricing and storage and sort of launch dates. All that information can be found at SamMobile.com. Make sure you hit subscribe to SamMobile TV, because as these devices come in, we'll have more to talk about and more to show you, and you won't want to miss it. Join as a member as well, because of the fact that we publish these videos early. Well, not this one, but videos like this. No, not like this, because this is videos that show things. There we go. I'll leave it with that. Join as a member. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.